Hello, beautiful people. So, I am here to give you a very practical couple of tools to help you figure out time in your life. So, when I talk to my clients and ask them, what are the things that you come up against again and again and again? And they say, not enough time, feeling overwhelmed, not enough time in the day, not enough hours in the day, could do with having double 24 hours every single day. Time seems to be an issue, especially for us driven, entrepreneurial, excited women that want to get lots done and have lots of ideas and lots of passions and enjoy lots of things. So I'm going to give you some tools that I learnt when I trained and worked with a fabulous coaching company called the Handel Group. And they explained that we need to develop a relationship with time, as if it is something that we have a relationship with. So, how we think about time, firstly, is very important. Our mindset about time. Just think about how often you say or hear other people say, I don't have enough time, or time is running out, or there aren't enough hours in the day. It's something that kind of in society, we seem to have quite a few beliefs about time and the fact that there's just never enough. We have this kind of lack sense about time. So it's first of all interesting to be aware of what are you saying to yourself and what are you saying to other people about time. And if you catch yourself saying something about limiting about time, just flip it around. I have plenty of time. I have more than enough time in the day to do all the things that I most want to do, which leads me on to my next point. We do not have enough time to do everything, but we do have enough time to do what is most important to us. So that's an important thing to be aware of, is that we don't have enough time in our lives to do absolutely everything, but we do have enough time to do those things that are most important to us. Another thing to bear in mind when we're talking about freedom and creating freedom in our lives, time is one of those resources that is finite for all of us. Time is going to run out, unfortunately. Yes, sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but time is going to run out for all of us. So it is our most precious resource. We often think of money as being our most precious resource, but really, money is infinite. There's an infinite amount of money that one individual could make. However, we are all limited by time. So it's really important to get this relationship with time good and right. It's also really essential to be good at managing your time in order to achieve the things you want to achieve, in order to reach your goals. And it's really important to have a good relationship with time, to feel a sense of freedom, to feel a sense of time freedom, and to go on to create time freedom in your life. So, here's a couple of tools. The first thing I want you to do is spend the next few days, even a week if you can, tracking very precisely where you're spending your time. So I want you to become aware of where you are spending your time. So even if it is 10 minutes in the shower, maybe you spend 20 minutes making breakfast. Even if you spend 20 minutes before you leave the house to go to work, say, on social media. Even if you spend 15 minutes snoozing your alarm clock. Or maybe when you get to work, you spend half an hour chatting to your colleague before you get on with what you've got to do. Maybe you spend 3 hours watching TV in the evening. So there's no judgment here. We're not here to kind of catch you out or anything like that. We're just finding out where your time is currently being spent. So doing that for a couple of days, a week if you can, will give you some really good insight into where your time is being spent, which is useful information to use for the next step. So the next step, once you've got clear about where your time is being spent, I want you to get really clear on what your priorities are. What is important to you? What do you need to get done? What is essential? For example, collecting your children from school. That's essential. So what are your essentials and what are your priorities? And I want you to write them down. And I would also like you to figure out how long those things take. So perhaps going to collect your kids from school takes half an hour. So that's how long you need for that section. So now we can get really clear and realistic about how much time those essentials take and how much time your priorities take. So now once we've done the tracking tool, we move on to reorganizing your time. First of all, scheduling in your essentials. So scheduling in your shower, scheduling in making breakfast, scheduling in your commute to your meeting or to work. And then once we've done that, we have your list of priorities and we fit your priorities in around your essentials. So you're making sure that what is most important to you goes into your calendar, into your schedule first. Now, once we do that, it's also very important to plan in your rest time, your downtime, your fun time. I call this Whitespace time. So you have some periods of time where you don't have any plan, whether that's even to do with your work life. So you have a couple of hours where there's no plan and you can just do whatever you want. You can brainstorm, you can lie down, you can listen to a podcast, whatever you like. And really important to have your healthy habits, your sleep, your rest, your fun, your time with your family. So don't forget those things. We're not just going to do work. So once we've got really clear, got the priorities and the essentials clear, scheduled them in, including the rest, fun, white space, etc., you can start to see what's realistic in your 24 hours that you have each day. And it might be that you've been giving yourself this enormous to-do list and expecting way more from yourself from each day than is actually realistic. So first of all, we can start to address that and get clear about what we can do in a day and what will keep us healthy and what will keep us happy. So it might be that a couple of projects that you've been working on might take a little bit longer than you had imagined because you can't fit it into your days. And that's fine. We can just set your expectation at that point. So doing this and starting this process will, first of all, have you feeling more in control about where your time is being spent. It will have you feeling more purposeful about where you're spending your time. It will also have you working on and spending time on your priorities and knowing that those are scheduled in, and so you don't have to worry. You don't have to constantly be going through in your mind, when am I going to do this? When am I going to do this? There's never enough time. There's never enough time. There's so much chatter that goes on in our head. And when we get overwhelmed with too much to do and we feel like we don't have enough time, this chatter just goes crazy and stops us from really doing anything. So when we get clear about where we're spending our time and put into our calendars what's important to us, what's essential to us, what keeps us happy and healthy, then we can just let go of all that chatter. We can carry on knowing that we're getting the important things done, we're getting the essential things done, and that can start to allow us a sense of freedom and peace of mind. Now, these are just the first few tools and steps in the process, and obviously there's much more that we could talk about, but I wanted to just give you those very practical, actionable tools that you can take and apply that to your life now. So we have a relationship with time, and it's so important to really work on that relationship in order for you to feel fulfilled, free, and achieve your goals and experience success in your life. I really hope that was helpful. Okay, sending love.